Have you ever wondered why some women command a magnetic, almost hypnotic presence that can create an obsession in a man, while others, equally beautiful and intelligent, remain unseen? This isn't about playing games, employing seductive tactics, or chasing affection. It's about an ancient, potent energy that very few women ever learn to consciously wield, an energy that flows not from what you do, but from who you are at your very core. This is the energy of the sovereign woman, the kind of power that doesn't seek, it simply attracts. It's a presence so whole and self-contained that it becomes a mirror, a mystery, and a mesmerizing force that a man finds himself irresistibly drawn to, often without understanding why. This journey we are about to embark on is not for the faint of heart. It is for the woman ready to reclaim her throne. Here on the Feminine Queen channel, we don't deal in fleeting tricks. We delve into the profound architecture of feminine power. Today, we will explore the secret feminine energy that creates this deep, lasting fascination, and we will illuminate this path with the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. This philosophy, often associated with masculine warriors and emperors, holds the very keys to unlocking the unshakable inner citadel that is your birthright. You will learn that your greatest power is not in seeking his attention, but in becoming so utterly captivated by your own world that he has no choice but to be drawn into your orbit. Forget everything you've been told about being more accommodating, more available, or molding yourself to fit a man's desires. The principles we discussed today are about the opposite, becoming more of yourself, more rooted in your own truth, and more unshakably sovereign. This is about cultivating a regal calm in the face of external chaos, a profound self-possession that is the hallmark of every true feminine queen. This is the path to becoming the woman whose essence lingers in his mind, not because of a game she played, but because of the undeniable power she embodies. This is how you become unforgettable. 1. The mirror principle. Your unconscious sovereignty exposes his fragmentation. This is perhaps the most profound and misunderstood dynamic in attraction, a secret that rests deep in the psychological frameworks of Carl Jung. He taught us that the parts of ourselves we refuse to see, the parts we leave unconscious, do not simply vanish. Instead, they are projected onto the world around us, and especially onto the people who enter our lives. When you, as a feminine queen, cultivate a state of embodied presence, a stillness born from self-acceptance, an emotional integrity that needs no external validation, and a complete lack of performative neediness, you become a living, breathing mirror for the masculine soul. He doesn't look at you and see a woman he wants to conquer. He looks at you and sees an unnerving reflection of everything he has disowned in himself. Your wholeness starkly illuminates his fragmentation. Your peace highlights his inner chaos. Your self-containment exposes his suppressed vulnerability and the tenderness he was taught to bury. The obsession that follows is not a simple attraction to you. It is a terrified, magnetic fascination with the ghost of his own fragmented self, resurrected in your calm and steady gaze. Stoicism is the bedrock of this power. By embracing Amor Fati, a deep, unwavering love of your fate, which includes loving your own depth, your complexities, and your solitude, you build an immovable inner citadel. Your refusal to abandon your own truth for his comfort creates a reflection he cannot escape. You must understand, my queen, that his subsequent turmoil, his intense pursuit, his confusion, it is not about you or anything you have done. It is the sound of his own avoided inner world erupting, triggered by the simple, sovereign fact of your existence. You are merely holding the mirror. You are not, and never will be, responsible for what it reveals. 2. The Anima as soul language. Your essence speaks the words. He buried within the masculine psyche, as Jung described, exists an inner feminine archetype known as the Anima. This is not a literal woman, but the very embodiment of his capacity for feeling, for intuition, for deep relatedness, and for soulful connection to the world. In a society that often trains men to sever ties with this vital part of themselves in favor of logic, control, and external achievement, the Anima becomes a buried treasure, a lost language of the soul. When you live authentically from your core, when you are unapologetically in touch with your full emotional spectrum, allowing yourself to feel joy, sorrow, anger, and peace without shame or apology, you begin to unknowingly speak this forgotten language. You become a living, breathing symbol of the inner world he was forced to sacrifice. His intense, obsessive pull towards you is not necessarily a pull towards your personality or your body. It is a pull towards the resonance you create. You vibrate at the frequency of his own lost soul, and it calls to him like a siren's song. The key to wielding this power with grace is found in the Stoic principle of apatheia. This does not mean apathy or a lack of feeling. It means freedom from destructive, overwhelming passions. It is your ability to feel deeply without collapsing, to contain the vast ocean of your emotional reality without demanding that he build the dam. This makes you an undeniable and safe conduit for the buried language of his own soul. He finds himself chasing the profound feeling that you awaken within him, tragically mistaking the messenger, which is you, for the essential message, which is his own soul's desperate cry for integration and wholeness. 3. Shadow integration. The path you illuminate, not walk for him. Every man, like every human, carries a shadow. This is the psychological repository, as Jung termed it, for everything he has been taught to deny and repress. It is the home of his perceived weakness, his hidden needs, his deepest fears, and his most profound, untamed emotions. As a feminine queen, your power lies in your relationship with your own shadow. When you have done the courageous work of turning towards your own darkness, your acknowledged pain, your contained and righteous rage, your integrated complexities, you radiate an aura of wholeness that is incredibly potent. This embodied wholeness, this comfort with your own full nature, shines an inescapable light on his unexamined darkness. For a man who has spent a lifetime running from these aspects of himself, this illumination is both terrifying and mesmerizing. It often triggers obsession as a distorted, desperate attempt to control the source of the light, you, rather than doing the brave work of facing the content that has been illuminated, which is himself. The Stoic framework gives you the strength for this journey. You learn to confront your own shadows with courage and complete self-ownership, practicing the examination of impressions to separate your true nature from fearful illusions. This sacred inner work radiates an energy that silently demands the same level of integrity from everyone in your presence. Think of yourself as a lighthouse. You do not leave your post to rescue the ships. You stand firm, shining your light to reveal the rocky shores he must navigate for himself. Your immense power lies not in fixing his darkness, but in being so impeccably and authentically integrated within your own light and shadow that his fragmentation becomes starkly, undeniably visible to him. You offer the reflection. The work of integration is his, and his alone. 4. Emotional contrast. Your authentic flux is the antidote to his numbness. The human psyche, as Jung understood it, craves dynamism, complexity, and wholeness. It withers under the pressure of rigid consistency. Your emotional contrast is the secret antidote to the emotional numbness that plagues the modern man. This is not about manipulative hot and cold games. It is the natural, unforced, and authentic flow between your different states of being. It is the effortless shift from radiant warmth to quiet reserve, from bubbling joy to deep contemplation, from receptive softness to sharp, unwavering directness. This is the visible manifestation of a complex, rich and fully inhabited inner world, and it creates a magnetic field that is nearly impossible to resist. To a man who has been conditioned for emotional suppression, predictability and control, your genuine fluidity feels like life itself. It disrupts the monotonous flatline of his anesthetized existence, awakening sensations and feelings he long ago buried. The Stoic principle of prohairesis, or moral choice, is what empowers this authentic expression. You consciously choose your genuine response in each moment over a performative consistency designed to please or appease. You honor the truth of your feeling without being enslaved by it or weaponizing it. This dynamic, unpredictable presence is intoxicating precisely because it cannot be understood, controlled or predicted through logic alone. It operates from the mysterious realm of the soul and intuition, the Anima's native domain. He becomes obsessed not with a static image of you but with the vital, life-giving energy you emanate, a vitality born from your profound courage to be fully, fluidly and unapologetically human. 5. Sovereignty as sacred containment, the inviolable temple of self. We now arrive at the apex of feminine queen power, a concept deeply rooted in the wisdom of both Jung and the Stoics. The ultimate goal of Jungian individuation is to become psychologically whole, undivided, and fully aligned with your true self. Your sovereignty is this achieved state. It is the creation of a sacred inner temple built upon a foundation of unwavering self-containment. You learn to contain your emotions, your value, and your needs. This means you no longer leak your precious energy by desperately seeking validation, reassurance, or completion from an outside source. You hold it all within your own sacred vessel. This is the very embodiment of the Stoic ideal of autarkeia, or absolute self-sufficiency. When a man attempts to possess, control, or project his own needs and fantasies onto you, his efforts shatter against the impenetrable walls of this temple. Your boundaries are not angry reactions to his behavior. They are the calm, non-negotiable architecture of yourself, an architecture forged through your own dedicated inner work and shadow integration. This sacred containment is magnetic because it signifies completion. You are not a half waiting to be made whole. You are a universe radiating from a place of inherent fullness. He senses this profound wholeness, the Jungian self-actualized, and it triggers a cocktail of awe, desire, and the terrifying realization that he can never be your source. Your power resides in this unassailable inner citadel. You are the ancient rooted tree. His storm of emotion and desire cannot uproot you. It can only reveal his own desperate lack of grounding. Your very presence declares, "I belong entirely to myself." This is the regal, quiet strength that commands respect, not through force, but through the immovable power of being truly, holy, and divinely contained. All right, feminine queens, thank you for being the heart of this incredible community. We wouldn't be here without your likes, comments, and shares. Keep that powerful energy flowing, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and share. I'll love you forever for it. 6. Projection as sacred initiation. His distortion is your invitation to unshakable truth. The psychologist Carl Jung taught a truth that every queen must grasp in her very bones. Projection is an entirely unconscious act. A man does not consciously choose to distort your image. His fragmented psyche compels him to cast you in the role of his savior, his siren, his mother, or the carrier of his disowned anima or shadow. This profound misperception is not your burden to carry. It is a sacred invitation. It is a stark, unfiltered revelation of his inner landscape, a map of his own psychological wounds and longings. Your role, illuminated by the Stoic framework of virtue ethics, is to cultivate a state of profound and graceful detachment. You must recognize his obsession, his idealization, his blame, or his praise as his psychological material, having almost nothing to do with your actual essence or worth. His chaos is merely the storm raging outside the fortified walls of your inner citadel. Your true power lies in your unwavering discernment, the ability to see the projection for exactly what it is, refusing to internalize its flattering or damning narrative, refusing to shrink or expand to fit its narrow confines. This is the ultimate test of your sovereignty, the ability to hold your own crystalline self-awareness perfectly intact while his unconscious drama plays itself out upon your stage. You become the immovable mountain, and his distorted perceptions are nothing more than clouds and weather passing across your majestic slopes. His misseeing of you becomes a sacred initiation, pushing you deeper into your own unassailable, unshakable truth. This is precisely how a feminine queen learns to discern illusion from essence. 7. The womb of discernment, your boundaries as sacred vessel. In the deep wisdom of Jungian psychology, the feminine principle is revered as the ultimate vessel, the vessel of life, of transformation, and most critically, of containment. My ladies, you must understand that your no is not an act of rejection. It is the sacred, life-affirming act of preserving the absolute integrity of your inner sanctuary. This is the vessel that incubates your spirit, your creativity, your vision, and your regenerative power. The Stoics elevated this concept to the highest duty, calling it oikiosis, the profound duty you have to your own self, to your own nature. When a man, driven by his own lack, seeks to merge with you, to demand your energy, or to project his unmet needs onto your field, your boundary becomes the inviolable threshold of your temple. It is a silent, powerful declaration that states, "This space is consecrated to my own becoming. Only that which honors this sanctum may be granted entry." This is not an act of coldness. It is the fierce, maternal protection of the life-giving source that resides within you. His pressure, his charm, his manipulations, or his guilt-tripping are merely winds, testing the strength of the walls of your inner keep. Your discernment, the conscious, deliberate choice of what energy you allow to enter and gestate within your psychic field, is your greatest oracular wisdom. You are the high priestess and the guardian of your own psychic womb. Your ultimate sovereignty resides in this sacred, unapologetic no, for it is the bedrock upon which every authentic and powerful yes is built. 8. Kali's grace. Your integrated darkness is his unavoidable mirror. Jungian thought does not shy away from the dark. It acknowledges the necessary, terrifying, and transformative power of the dark feminine archetype, personified by goddesses like Kali or Hecate. This is the aspect of the feminine that dissolves illusion, cuts away that which is false, and clears the path for authentic rebirth. Your wholeness as a feminine queen must include your acknowledged and integrated shadows. It is your righteous anger, your profound grief, your fierce protectiveness, and your untamed, wild intuition. You do not hide these powerful forces in shame. You integrate them as essential facets of your regal strength. Stoicism provides the discipline for this integration. You learn to face these potent aspects of yourself with immense courage, remembering that courage is knowledge of what to endure, and you integrate them through conscious, radical acceptance. This embodied integration of both light and dark within yourself creates the most potent and unavoidable mirror for his own repressed and feared shadow. Your comfort with your own complexity directly reflects his terror of his. A man's obsession often reaches its fever pitch when he catches a glimpse of this terrifying wholeness, the queen who commands all of her territory, the light and the shadow alike. Your power lies not in being perpetually soft and agreeable, but in the devastating authenticity of your full, untamed spectrum. You silently force the confrontation with himself that he has spent his entire life avoiding. This is the queen who rules not just the full moon, but the new moon as well. Her darkness is not a hidden flaw. It is an integrated power, making her reflection inescapably, terrifyingly true. Amor Fati and the eternal echo. Your legacy is in the awakening. Carl Jung often spoke of the profound and frequently unsettling impact of genuine soul encounters. These are not casual dates. They are moments when one person's essence irrevocably touches another's. The Stoic philosophy offers the ultimate perspective for the queen who finds herself in this role, Amor Fati, the love of one's fate, which includes loving the sacred and sometimes painful fate of being a catalyst for another's transformation. You must understand this final crucial truth. The depth of his haunting, the persistence of his memory of you, the obsessive quality of his thoughts, it is all a measure of the soul depth you forced him to confront within himself. His obsession is the distorted, chaotic shadow of the profound awakening you triggered. Your sovereign presence did not give him meaning. It simply reflected the profound meaning he had lost touch with within himself. His subsequent suffering, his struggle, his pain, it is not yours to carry, heal, or manage. It is the sound of the birth pangs of his own potential consciousness struggling to break free from its prison. Your regal detachment, your ability to release the outcome, allows his process to be entirely his own. You have fulfilled the sacred role of the mirror, the Anima conduit, the embodied call to wholeness. Whether he answers that call is his journey, his battle, his destiny. Your legacy is not etched in his possession of you, but in the irreversible crack you created in the armor of his avoidance. You are the comet that streaks across his mundane sky. Your brilliant, fleeting passage forces his eyes open to the vast, dark and beautiful universe within himself that he had, until you, completely ignored. The eternal echo you leave behind is the vibration of the awakening you compelled. This is the highest form of sovereignty, to catalyze transformation through your immutable presence, and then to release the outcome entirely to the great forge of individual fate. This is how a true queen transmutes the poison of obsession into the potential for a soul's evolution, leaving an indelible mark that can never be erased. This is the path of the feminine queen. It is not a strategy for winning a man's love, but a discipline for embodying a love of self so profound that it naturally commands the deepest respect and fascination. The principles of Jung and the Stoics are not mere intellectual concepts. They are tools for forging an unshakable inner world. The obsession we speak of is merely a symptom, a byproduct of a man's encounter with a woman who is whole, self-contained, and sovereign. She does not need him to complete her, and that is precisely what makes her so utterly captivating. She is a world unto herself, and he is drawn to the light, the warmth, and the mystery she radiates. Your journey is to stop focusing on him and to turn that powerful gaze inward. Build your inner temple, integrate your shadows, speak your truth, and contain your sacred energy. The work is to become the woman you are destined to be, independent of any external validation. When you embody this level of self-possession, you become more than just a woman he desires. You become an experience he can never forget, a standard of authenticity against which all others will be measured. You become the echo in his soul, reminding him of the wholeness that is possible. So I ask you, my queens, to reflect on this. Where in your life are you leaking your power? Where are you seeking validation instead of cultivating your own sovereignty? The journey to becoming this magnetic force of nature begins with a single conscious choice: to prioritize your own inner world above all else. To choose your peace over his approval, your truth over his comfort. This is the great work. and it is the most rewarding journey you will ever undertake. Thank you for joining us on the Feminine Queen channel. If this message resonated with the Queen within you, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of this empowering journey. Share this with a sister who is ready to claim her throne. Until next time, stay sovereign, stay powerful, and continue to cultivate the magnificent queen that you are.